Hello, my name is Jon Stam. This past June, I graduated from my bachelor's at the Design Academy Eindhoven. I'm currently working on projects with the Technical University in Eindhoven, the Boijmans Museum in Rotterdam, and coordinating external projects for Art Center Z33, and I'm part of a research project at the Media Design Academy in Genk. All of my current work and current projects have one common theme, and that is designing for and from personal memories. Considering that I have about 6 minutes to speak, I thought it would be an interesting experiment to try to frame these 6 past projects within the 6 memory functions. I'm sorry if you can't read these, but I'll quickly go through them. One is about shaping personal identity, regulating moods, maintaining relationships, problem solving based on previous experience, shaping likes and dislikes. My first project is the Curiosity Cabinet. This project came out of my love for physical archive systems and the richness for physical space. And also my fear that we are losing the critical capacity to make choices with our digital content, which is undoubtedly beginning to take an equal role in the construction of our identity and our worldview. My project brief was simple. I wanted to fuse 2 archive systems that would frame and store meaningful objects as well as copy and compartmentalize digital data. I went back to the 16th century and found an example of the Curiosity Cabinet, which attempted to project a world picture through the interspersal of objects of God and objects of man. I desired to bring this cabinet back into a contemporary context, and instead of doing objects of God and objects of man, I replaced it with the duality we're dealing with right now, which is digital, the material, and the virtual. So this cabinet has digital boxes that can store digital data, and it also can pop up automatically when placed next to a computer. This is Canada. It's really big. I moved to the Netherlands, which is really small. And in an attempt to create my space of comfort, I cut out intricate shapes, which are Canada's largest lakes, to make a personal map of Canada. I also embedded hidden audio speakers in the 3 big cities and 1 small village where my friends and family reside. The audio dialogues are of my close friends and my mother, taken from a year's worth of personal emails. So if you place your ear on Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Waterford, you can see my experience of the Netherlands. Scent is a powerful memory cue, and love notes is our way in which we express our experience and maintain relationships. Love notes and perfume glue is a perfume bottle made out of magazine perfume samples. Each sample holds not only a scent, but handwritten love notes from girlfriends, lovers, real estate agents, and mothers. The bottle becomes a bizarre love story that is awkward and tragic. It becomes blank so users can create love notes of their own. The next project is Wearable 2, which is one of a series of navigational objects which I prototyped for a project on the city. This specific example is a psychogeographic compass, which is a compass based on the emotions and behaviors of individuals. The compass reacts to places that are tagged by its user. Inspired by situationist works, the compass encourages users to not follow the imposed logic of the city, but rather navigate through the emotional reference points. It's also meant to be passed on to friends, strangers, to initiate wanderings and other situations. The next project is an exhibition I developed for Z33, which is called Projections on the Pool. And this project came from my remembered experiences of public swimming pools. I find public swimming pools very, very interesting spaces, truly democratic spaces. All visitors strip down, take all status symbols off, and everyone is equal. It's a space that is extremely scary for when we are children, as we don't have the physical skill or muscle to swim yet. But it becomes a very innocent and playful space, but also a highly sexually charged space. So swimming pools and cinema share more than a simple graphic framing and wide demographic appeal. Both were born of the late 1800s, when the acceptance of germ theory turned bathing pools into swimming pools, and advancement of technologies transformed still images into motion pictures. The emergence of popular leisure in the 1900s saw the rise of the public swimming pool and public theaters, which both were privately appropriated in the suburban landscape within a half-century. Projections on the Pool is an exhibition that celebrates the parallels between the two modern spectacles. Housed at an open-air swimming pool in Hasselt, Belgium, the project includes a temporary exhibition pavilion showcasing 4 seminal works of film and video art, open-air cinema, as well as a live burlesque synchronized swimming show, and of course, opening and closing pool parties. The Place at Space exhibition was the starting point for the Living Spaces project. A multi-touch interface was created to allow users to navigate, recreate, and gain information of works on display at Art Center 33. This was the starting point for a research project, an IFRO European research project, that I recently joined in January. Our goal is to develop a tool that can facilitate meetings, organize and share information, map and record artistic processes, and the end result will include a multi-touch table that will offer shared working space, a visual layer to face-to-face meetings, and also link digital and physical information and people, and this interface will be integrated in the ways existing practices of collaborative working methods are done. We are now currently in the research phase, and we are mapping with organizations who do these types of projects, and this will lead us to the future design of the interface. So these are a few of the projects. It goes back to the cabinet, back to my personal memories. Memory offers me a rich pool of personal experiences to play with. It is my belief that starting from the personal is the strongest way to get to the universal. By starting from the personal, I fully invest in my work, I operate critically, and it is only then that I work my hardest to translate sometimes ridiculous ideas into something concrete and tangible to a wider audience. These are a few links that you can see some of the work. Thank you very much. And I also wanted to thank Lee, Anamika, Ted, and Joachim for supporting my studies. So that's it.